We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Fred. Fred has a room that is 20 by 15 and a half by 8. There's a fireplace on one of the 15 and a half walls, and the window is 20 inch is on the 20-foot wall to the right of the fireplace. Okay, so on the I just looked at the picture. So on the left wall, yep, there's a fireplace. On the right, on the front wall in the left corner, there's a window.
Yep.
So that you guys are okay, we're all on the same page here. Fred and his wife are going to be renovating the room. They're going to resurface the fireplace in stone, remove the faux wood beams on the ceiling, attempt to make the whole room look brighter. His wife really wants this to serve as a lounge with seating that faces the fireplace. Fred still wants it to be a really good theater. Since the ceiling is being redone anyway, and their desire for a bright room means they'll have lots of can lights, Fred was thinking he could install in-ceiling speakers for Atmos at the same time. His issue is figuring out the best layout. So, A, should they arrange the room so that all the seating faces the fireplace? Neither of them want the TV up too high. Fred isn't super comfortable with the projection screen hanging in front of a glass fireplace. Plus, where would this large EMP Tech center speaker go? So, let's look here. I guess you guys are probably already looking. Are you looking at? Oh, are you showing them the diagram?
Oh yes, there's been photos up here on the video. Yeah, so I mean, he sent even a little addendum email afterwards. He's like, yeah, his wife really wants this to be like people come over, they sit around the fireplace, it's a place to chat and lounge, but when they're watching TV, it's probably just going to be the two of them. So in a way, the seating area for the television and for the surround sound doesn't need to be that large. That, you know, they want this fireplace to be the focal point. So, I mean, in my mind, some kind of larger seating does make sense, right? I mean, he was thinking some sort of L-shaped couch or a sectional. If you want it to have the feeling of lounging around the fireplace, you would kind of want seating that encompasses the fireplace somewhat, right?
Yeah. So I'll be honest. I have never been a huge fan of TVs on fireplaces.
Right.
There's a lot of reasons for it, and one of probably the least rational ones I have is the heat. It just always drives me nuts that there's going to be that much heat near this fireplace, off this fireplace, and that is going to be somehow directed towards this TV. But apparently it's fine because people do it all the time.
They sure do.
You know, and not only that, there are screens, there are mounts that you can use that you can grab, and the TV sits way up high, out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just sitting up there doing its little TV thing, and then you grab this thing and you pull it, and it just comes way down and way forward. I mean, not like 5 feet forward, but you know, a couple of feet forward, but way down. And suddenly it's at better. It's like it doesn't look. I mean, because the mount is. There's no way to make that sexy. You know, from the side. From the side, it's just going to look weird.
But then when it's only the two of you watching it, who cares what it looks like from the side?
Exactly. So those mounts are not cheap. They're not.
They're not cheap, no. But they're pretty cool. They solve a problem for sure.
And if it's just going to be you two, then, you know, well, kind of why not? I don't see any problem with putting this on that small wall there and having an L-shaped couch that or whatever size couch.
So you're saying TV above the fireplace using one of these mounts. Okay.
I am saying that, or even a projection screen that you put, you know.
Well, I mean, why not get one of those ones that recesses right into the ceiling? You're redoing the ceiling anyway.
And you're like, hey, we're going to watch a movie. Put out the fire.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I'll mention there's a couple of companies that do those mounts that pull down in front of the fireplace. Dynamic mounting is the one that I normally point people to. There's another one, MantelMount.com, a similar idea, but the dynamic mounting one, they say they can handle TVs up to 80 inches. All right.
That's a whopper.
At which point, if you were considering getting a new TV in this, maybe you don't need a projection screen, because I'm hearing bright room, bright room, bright room.
Right.
And I'm going, well,
I'm hearing the same thing.
that doesn't jive with jibe with a projection screen. So, but a big TV that you can lower, swivel, tilt, right in front of your fireplace, up to 80 inches with one of these dynamic mounting solutions. They have a nice little feature on theirs too, where if it does heat up, the handle actually changes color to alert you. So there's a visual clue that something is too hot.
We're cooking your TV.
Yeah. Now, that center speaker, though, that is an issue. Where the heck do you put a center speaker that gigantic? Because, like, dynamic mounting, they allow you to mount a center speaker onto that same mount, so it moves with the TV,
right.
but not one the size of the EMP Tech Impression series. That thing is huge.
Yeah, let me see it.
And not exactly mountable either.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
So this could be a lot of changes. This could be a new TV, new mount, new center speaker if you want to mount it on that movable mount. But it can all certainly be done so that the focal point of this room will be that fireplace. That can definitely be done.
Yeah. As far as placing the speakers themselves, because he did ask that, right? Did I read that part of the question already?
Yeah, well, he's mostly about the Atmos speakers and that.
Right. So, where would that large, stupid speaker go?
I'm looking at this room, though, and I'm thinking, okay, let's say you set it up so you're facing the fireplace, right?
Yeah.
What is happening in basically what is now the back half of the room? Because this room is 20 feet long, right?
Yeah, but there's folding doors back there.
There's folding doors, so, I mean, you need 3-4 feet in front of that. But I guess that's okay. You could have the seats like 15 feet in front of the fireplace. I guess that'd be okay. I don't know what his wife wants in that way. Is that close enough to the fireplace? Does that still work? Because, I mean, either you're doing that...
I'm trying to figure out where she wants the seats to go, because there's that window right there, and the window's so low that you can't put seats against that wall.
Right.
I mean, are they going to get rid of all that shelving, too? Is everything going?
I guess so.
Because if the shelving goes, then you got no problems for the main speakers. The main speakers just go where that shelving is.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you could have a sectional couch that has like a section that goes in between the two windows, or a chaise lounge section that goes over there, right? I'm thinking a big sort of sectional that basically takes up where his current couch is and then goes across the room and then sits in between the two windows, right? A big U-shaped sectional. That gives you a lot of lounge area. The middle portion of it that is basically going across the room now faces the fireplace. Maybe that makes sense, right?
I don't know, man. This room is weird. I'm really having a hard time. I'm be honest with you. I'm having a hard time because the doors are
it's either that, or you squish the entire theater over towards those folding doors and have a pretty squishy small theater area over there. Because you got to have at least half of this 20-foot length dedicated to the fireplace lounge area. So I mean, a 10-foot wide theater for only 2 seats. That's okay.
If they're keeping the same furniture, right? Because
he's gonna update the seating for sure.
He's updating the seating as well.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna update the seating, why don't you get like all individual chairs? Well, that's not loungy though, is it? I don't know, man.
So
I'm not being helpful.
There's the two solutions. I mean, either you squish everything over so that you have a 10-foot wide theater and a 10-foot wide lounge, and then you end up with a TV in front of one of the windows and it all looks kind of dorky, or you go for a big U-shaped seating area. You basically have, you put it in between the two seats, so the back of the seat will be on the window that's closest to the folding door, and everything sort of faces the fireplace, and you use one of these drop-down TV mounts above the fireplace with a big TV. I think since the room is going to be so bright, I'd go for a big TV over a projector in here.
Yeah,
that's my vote.
All right, so he's already wired for his 5.2 speaker setup with the seating facing the 20-foot wall with windows. There's some seating arrangement he could think of where he could keep this, but also have a seating facing the fireplace, perhaps an L-shaped couch.
I mean, it's fine to keep the two subs connections where they are, because that's basically midpoints of the two side walls now if you're facing the fireplace, so where the two subs are. But as for where the speaker wire has been run, you're going to be doing the ceiling anyway, so run new stuff through the ceiling. You don't even have to tear up what went through the floor.
They're considering a projection setup. No, we're going to go with that. Okay.
Not when the room's so bright. Yeah.
where we suggest installing the in-ceiling speakers for a 5.2.4 setup. A couple feet in front of you, a couple feet behind you. If you're going to do it that way, that's
or maybe like he could set this up as 7.2.4 facing the fireplace.
Yeah.
Right. You have a couple surround back speakers that are on either side of those folding doors.
Yeah.
And then you could put, I would call them top middles and put them just a little bit behind what I'm thinking is going to be a big U-shaped couch. Call them top middles and then put front heights 5 feet in front of you. That's where I would go. Because that'll give you some nice sound that's coming almost directly above you, maybe just a tiny bit behind you. You can call those top middles, and then 5 feet in front of you will kind of split the difference between where the seats are and where the fireplace is. I think that'll work nice.
Did Klipsch ever come out with those down-firing light speaker things? Because they announced them a couple of years back.
Ugh.
They were like
they go where a can light would go.
Well, and the light still goes in there too.
Oh, I see. Yeah, they are a light.
They are a light. You could look into that as well. I don't know how those work. I have no idea. It's probably better just to get dedicated speakers. That's generally what I suggest.
Yeah.
But it's something you could look into.
I mean, you've got EMP Tech speakers, so you can go RBH in ceilings.
Yep.
And they'll match perfectly.
And if you're going through all this and you're thinking to yourself, where am I going to put all these speakers? Oh, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with that? You may just want to be thinking about upgrading your speakers anyways. Or not upgrading, but changing them out. The center channel is what's really going to give you the biggest problem.
Yeah.
You want something you can mount to that thing. So you could call EMP Tech or RBH, the same company.
Yeah.
And tell them what your problem is and say, what can I mount to this thing that's going to sound pretty good? And will physically fit.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll give you something. Or maybe they'll be like, oh, no, we've worked with those mounts before. All you have to do is this, this, and this, and we'll send you the kit for it. Who knows? Crazier things have happened. Probably not that crazy, but pretty crazy. You'd like to have some sort of covering for the windows, but not for blackout purposes. He's more interested in using them as acoustic treatments. So what would recommend for that? How about those packing blankets that U-Haul uses? Those are very dense,
more stylish,
and they would do something acoustically. If you don't think that those are stylish enough, then I would just get whatever you wanted and not use them for acoustical purposes, and get your wife to agree to for some accent splashes of light gray in your big white box that you're about to have, and make every one of those splashes of light gray be an acoustic panel, and do that.
If it's going to be drapes, you go for the heaviest drapes with as many pleats as you possibly can.
That's not what they're going to do, dude.
Which is going to be pretty darn blackout.
That's not what they're going to do.
I kind of doubt it. But I mean, if you're talking acoustically, it has to be the
thick,
heaviest,
heavy,
thickest
dense
drapes with as many pleats as you can possibly have, and you want a trapped volume of air.
Is really what you want. You want like Dracula's castle's drapes.
Trapped volume of air.
Describe
is
that
what
to your
makes
wife
it acoustic.
and see how that goes over.
Yeah,
Dracula's drapes, honey. That's what the AVRant guy suggested. Dracula. Blood optional. Get whatever drape she wants, and then tell her you just need to put some splashes of color around this room, and we're going to use these acoustic panels to do it.
Or artwork. Printed artwork.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.